Hey guys, Jaeger262 here again with another vehicle review slash preview of the 0.28 French update for Armored Warfare. And right now we're looking at an Italian vehicle, not a French vehicle, that entered the tree at Tier 6. It is of course the C13 TUA tank destroyer. It is based off the real life vehicle, the C13, which was an Italian chassis mounting this device, and also an APC version developed in the 80s by Automira, but it attracted no buyers, and so the contract was ended. The only prototype that did exist mounted this system, and so it technically only ever existed as a tank destroyer, not as an APC. With that being said, it is one of my favorite tank destroyers in the game right now. And again, if you saw the video about the C13 TUA, it's not just based on merit alone. I love the animations that came with this line. It really shows that Armored Warfare is moving to make this game incredibly immersive and a little bit more realistic than most tank games by providing realistic radar effects, reload, shell ejection, all kinds of stuff. And I'll show you when we get into the vehicle testing area what I mean by that, and I highlight it throughout all the battles you'll see after this and the gameplay footage. But it came with a surprise reload for the tow unit on top, which I absolutely loved, and I just wanted to again thank the development team in Armored Warfare for doing this kind of stuff. I'm a huge sucker for it. Absolutely great. So first thing I want to talk about is damage per minute. It gets 5,211, and that is incredible. Even with the almost 15-second reload time, that is incredible. It has, like, I believe, a 2-second or less intra-clip reload in between the two missiles. And that really puts it in the same vein as the M109 which is a Tier 8 premium tank destroyer, one of my favorites of all time, and not at all close to other Tier 6s. I mean, it just shines past the LAV 600 or 400 and the Security. It's going to play a lot like the M142 from the Oscar Faraday line. Obviously, it's the same kind of setup, boxier hull, the boxier missile unit on top, shoots 2 missiles. However, the reload is again closer to that of the M109. And because of that, even though it seems like it's a really long reload, even with, and I'll get into the retrofit right here, it comes with, I don't know why it's not, there it is, an improved gun clip which cuts the original fire rate in half, which gives you a salvo reload from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. I thought it meant the overall reload. It doesn't. It's going to stay at the 14 to make it balanced, and even with FRIA, you only bring it down to about 14 seconds flat, which is pretty good. That seems like a long reload, but again, the team at Armored Warfare used that to perfectly balance it because it plays almost exactly like the M109. It is a monster of a tank destroyer at this tier. Absolutely ridiculous that it entered this game at Tier 6 in a good way. No defense, you get 2,000 hit points, aluminum and steel hull with only 70. The only good part is that this is very tall, and enemy players might hit this, so you'll get a lot of damage launchers just like on the M142. But you won't actually take any damage. Mobility, 70 kilometers an hour, pretty decent. I would recommend getting off-road driving as your first driver skill though anyway, because ground resistance is not the best in this vehicle. Hull traverse is amazing, 55.29 degrees a second, absolutely ridiculous. It can turn incredibly fast. It is just an amazing vehicle. Utility, got good camo at 38% with a view range of 405 meters. Well, it's very good. It does come with stealth, which allows you to boost that even more. However, you also get the option to do override or retreat, which is a new one, which gives you more camouflage factor while you're moving backwards. And that is important and unique to this vehicle for this reason. Once you fire those 2 missiles, you're going to go into a lengthy reload animation, sort of like the Cornet. So unlike the M109, where it only takes the 14 seconds and you just start shooting again, this one you will have to wait for the missile launcher to come back online before you can start firing again. And that is really cool to me, but it might hinder your perception and your gameplay of the vehicle. And then of course 10 degrees up, 10 degrees down, 58 degrees of turret traverse. It's a launcher, it's going to have that. Down here I've compared it to some other tank destroyers, and just like I was telling you earlier, it does the same damage and the same DPM, well, it's a little bit less, as the Tier 8 M1134 Striker, which is crazy. The only difference is that because this is Tier 8, it gets about 200 more penetration. Other than that, oh, hold on, let me go to the stock build of this. My mistake. I was using the top-down missiles on my NM142. So stock build, it actually becomes worse than the NM142. I apologize for that. The NM142, again, matches the M1134 exactly in everything except for mobility and hit points. And that's just a tier difference. So in that way, the C13 TUA actually fits in perfectly in the line of double missile tank destroyers. It will be a great vehicle for new players. I highly recommend you playing this before you try to grind to the MM142, or if you are currently grinding to the NM142, use the C13 TUA. I went backwards and used my M1134 to get that tank destroyer, and that's why I'm so good at both. But you would be better suited doing it this way, because it grows in terms of damage and reload. It plays almost exactly the same as these other two vehicles, and will be a great way to train yourself to getting up and to being proficient in these tank destroyers. It is a great addition to the game in that sense, and a great tank destroyer. And then of course I have the LAV 600, which is the most common tier 6 tank destroyer, and it completely shreds this. But as you know, anybody who's ever played the LAV 600 uses the same turret as a Stingray. No contest. A great tank destroyer, but in terms of what we're trying to talk about, which is high damage, high penetration, high impact, long reload, it doesn't come anywhere close. If you want to play the NM142, or if you own an M1134 and you're just not good at it yet, you're not used to playing missile tank destroyers, get the C13 TUA. It will help you immensely. It is wonderful. I mean, it covers all the bases, all the basics in one vehicle at a low enough tier where you can feel overpowered, but you're also very vulnerable, and gives you a lot of leeway. And what I mean by that is, you could get killed really easily in PvP, but PvE bots will have a harder time taking you out with that 2,000 hit point threshold, because the majority of bots you'll see will be between tier 4 and tier 5. While they'll be able to hit you, you can get hit instead of twice in PvP 6 to 8 times in PvE, and so you'll be able to learn and adjust better. Whereas the NM142, from my experience, it's a little bit trickier to master. And so right now I'm just going to go and target some MBTs just to show you the reload, and you can get a feel for the mobility here. It's pretty good. I will say this though, while I'm just driving around, the same tow unit you see here is the special ITV, or improved tow vehicle module, which is used by another famous tank destroyer, the American M109 Hammerhead, which is a vehicle I never thought I needed or wanted in Armored Warfare, but because of this reload and because of the animation that comes with this, which I'll show you right now, I absolutely need them to add it. Alright, so as you can see, great penetration, no problem, but look at this. The unit actually slings back like it's supposed to in real life, so that way you can load the tow missiles, and I almost wish that they had animated tow missiles going into it. But this is also the part where, if you're not used to playing something like the Cornet, it might get a little annoying, because technically we are reloaded, but you cannot use the launcher until it's fully raised position. And so because of that, you might actually be looking at a 15-second reload time rather than a 14.3 second reload time. For me, it's not a problem because I love it, but for you, it might be a turnoff. I'm telling you, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to affect how this vehicle plays. And again, missile controllability is pretty decent. And with that kind of a hit, it's generally, the average is 8 to 900, and in some of the gameplay you're about to see, I get up to 1,000 to 1,100 damage. I mean, this thing is just simply incredible. That really doesn't show a lot of it. I'm not a big fan of using the vehicle test area because it only shows you lower tier vehicles anyway. I just want you guys to see the reload in its own little spotlight. I have 3 games lined up right now. I tried to do one where like it just absolutely sucked, but the worst game I had in this vehicle, because again it's so good, was one where the bots just didn't spawn, and so we sat around for 4 minutes doing nothing. It's a little bug that came with the update. It was just on the one mission, snake bite. It was just really weird. So I cut that game and I put in the other ones, and they're all generally good. I wouldn't say they're above average. I'm not an amazing player in this vehicle yet, but they are all good. I can't stress it enough. It seems like I was playing the M1134 for the first time, and I've only had that vehicle for a year, so it's been a year since I started playing that, and it feels like I'm learning how to do missile ATGMs all over again, because I'm always worried. You're always worried in these things. It's 15 seconds to reload. You're very vulnerable. One missile will miss, from one missile won't penetrate. What are you going to do if the second one does? You don't want to shoot targets that have less than, 500 HP, because you know you're going to lose damage, and that roll is going to be a really low roll. And you always feel like you're not going to be able to be competitive. You're not going to get experience. You're not going to get all the damage. But at the end of the game, the results speak for themselves. This is an amazing tank destroyer. For what it is, for the tier, you can't beat it. I mean, I would debate that it doesn't even belong in this line, that it should replace the Security 3 or 2. Forget which one that is. Let me check. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, the Security 2. I would argue it should replace this tank destroyer right here, because honestly this thing was stupid hard to unlock. I unlocked both tier 10s before I got this one, and it teaches you how to do nothing for the rest of these tank destroyers. It doesn't teach you the benefits of sniping, it doesn't teach you the benefits of light support, and that could just be me. It just doesn't suit my playstyle. But to jump from that to this, which you didn't have to do anyway, made no sense. Either this should have been the tier 7 or the C113, or sorry, not the C113, it's the C13 should be here. And the only reason I know it's not, and why I want the Hammerhead, so if any Armored Warfare devs watch this, please put in the 109 Hammerhead here. That would be great. The reason I know it's not is because we have this right here, the VCAC Mephisto, which is a 4-missile tank destroyer that is rumored to act a lot like the Cornet, but I think it's going to be more like this vehicle. So even though we have a weird MBT in the middle of these two, which will throw some people off in your grinding because you're just going to play a random main battle tank and you might lose the skills you learned, there was some thought, at least. Like, I don't personally like where it went, because it could have been so much better to work with the M130 or the NM142 or the M1134, but those are 2 tanks that exist, and one's a premium. So for introducing this tank in this tree, it makes a lot of sense, because you're about to get a really cool tier 8 tank destroyer that uses this exact same system. So I can't wait to see what the Mephisto looks like. It's been a pleasure playing this game. It's been a pleasure doing this tiny little preview / review for you guys, and I encourage you, please play this line. It is not just hype. It is not just OP because Armored Warfare made it new. Not all these tanks are great. In fact, I don't really care for these MBTs right now, and I'm going to do a review on each of them and explain a little bit about why I think they fit their roles really well, but they all act like a hybrid of a Leopard and Abram, or Leopard and Patton series copies. Not my thing. But for this tank destroyer, I encourage you, grind the way through the line, free XP it, do whatever you gotta do, play this tank destroyer. It is really good. And if you don't like it, or if long reload, high damage is not your style, it won't be for you. But if you like tank destroyers, if you like the NM142, or if you like the M1134 like I do, play the C13 TUA. You will not regret it. And that about ends it for this review / preview. Stay tuned for the gameplay that comes afterwards. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, because I will be doing again the next few vehicles in this line, giving them little previews. And I will leave a link at the end of this video to the AMX13 TUA video that I did. And check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Black Company, your mission today is to retrieve the nuclear missiles and their launch codes. They are being transported in the wrecked cargo ship along the shore. The Lions of Neck will know you're on the way, and the resistance will be heavy. Once everything is in your possession, you must contact us immediately with the codes over the secure line. Good luck. And Black Company, failure is not an option.
Identify.
Hostile PC. Load missile! Black Company, the Lions of Neck will have stolen some valuable intel regarding our future operations. Find them and destroy them before they can escape and use it against us.
Identify.
Enemy destroyed. Hostile tank. Target eliminated. Load missile.
Identify.
Hostile PC. Target locked. Target destroyed. Alright. Warheads and codes are in our possession. Head to the comm tower to relay the codes to base. You're going to need to power up the generator to get the tower working. There's the wreck. Hold the area long enough for missiles to get loaded up and ready to move.
Identify target.
Hostile PC.
They hit us hard.
Loader, missile. Target eliminated.
Identify target.
Hostile PC. Threat destroyed. Hostile tank. Threat destroyed. We're good. The transport is waiting for us on a beach at the west side of the island. Generators up. Encrypting and sending data. Hold the area. No time to waste. Move out.
Identify.
Hostile PC.
Identify target.
Hostile PC.
Damn it, damn it.
Great job, Black Company. Our secrets have been buried with the thieves.
Ammo up!
No effect. Threat destroyed. There's the transport. Hold the area and fight off all attackers until the missiles have been loaded and are safely away.
Identify.
Hostile PC. You've done well, Black Company. Good job. All companies down. Capturing the port is up to you now. Black Company, stand by for new intel. Our airstrike team is en route to destroy cartel contraband. Intel suggests it's hidden amongst emergency relief supplies. See if you can find the contraband before everything is destroyed. Target down.
Load missile. Identify.
Hostile PC.
Ammo up! Identify target.
Hostile tank. No bend.
Loader, missile! Identify.
Hostile PC. Target destroyed.
Identify target.
Hostile PC. en route to support you. Jump in.
Identify target.
Hostile PC.
Identify.
Hostile PC. Smoke grenade out! Threat destroyed. We have control of the docks and cartel ships. It will take some time to sort through the contraband here, but you've done... Black Company, you're going up against the Alliance of Neckwheel here. We've received intel that the area may be littered with SAM sites. If that's the case, our jets are in trouble. Black Company, change of plans. Our plane's been hit and we need the intel from their hard drive about the Alliance. Find the plane, get the intel, and see if there are any survivors. Enemy destroyed. Intel was right. That's got to be one of the SAM sites targeting our plane. Take them all out. Careful in there. That's the Lions of Neckwheel Town, so proceed with extreme caution. There's no telling what they might do.
Identified.
Hostile PC. Threat destroyed.
Identify.
Hostile tank. Penetrated. Target down.
Identify.
Hostile tank.
Identify target.
Hostile PC. Protect the plane. We've accessed the hard drive remotely, but need time to download the intel.
Identify.
Hostile tank. Target eliminated.
Identify target.
Hostile PC. Smoke out! Move!
Identify target.
Hostile PC.
Identify.
Hostile PC.
Identify target.
Hostile PC. Good work. You've cleared the skies for us. Enemy destroyed. Intel's been downloaded. Thanks, Black Company. You have no idea how important it is to stop the Alliance.